Hello, my dear friends. Welcome today to all of you, beautiful souls, beautiful people, to this amazing session about past lives from a different perspective. So, let us learn about past lives. What are they? Where are they stored? Who can see past lives? And all these other questions will be answered soon, my dear friends. So without any further delay, let us go into finding out about what this is, the subject is that I'm going to present to you. This particular subject, my dear friends, has been excerpted from a book called Higher Psychism, written by 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗵𝘆. So the entire subject, whatever is being presented here, has been written by him. And I would like to share this different perspective with all of you. So, my dear friends, without further delay, we will start off this presentation. And please be with me as we are going to find a whole new perspective of seeing past lives. Yes, my dear friends. So, this particular subject, as I have already expressed to you, that this subject has been taken from a book called Higher Psychism, written by 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗵𝘆. And let us go into see what is this past lives all about. Are you ready? Because I am ready. Let's go. All right, now. So, where are the events of the past lives recorded? Is there any book? Is there any record? And where are these records available? How can we access them? So these are all the questions that we have. So let us answer our first question. Where are the events of the past lives recorded? So these are recorded in something called as Akashic records, my dear friends. So according to the ageless wisdom, the best moments and attainments of past lives are recorded in the chalice. As you can see here, this is called as a chalice, as I'm marking it out for you. And also our permanent atoms are programmed by past lives, containing in symbolic ciphers the past records. And these recordings do not interpret themselves as events, but are causes of future lives, as frequencies that control the building of our personality bodies, my dear friends. These recordings do not interpret themselves as events, but we need to see the cause and effect, my dear friends, as we see the karma philosophy, the cause and effect, the as you sow, so you reap philosophy, which is clearly stated over here. And the whole recording of our past lives is found in the Akasha. And part of these records is in the subconscious mind in a very scrambled form. It is not clear. It is like, filaments of imagination, filaments of truth, filaments of all the past lives events. Everything is in a scrambled form. So then we have Akashic records. And these Akashic records can be drawn into the astral plane, my dear friends. But the astral plane is such a mess that any drop of reality that falls into the astral plane turns into a kaleidoscopic phenomenon, ever-changing and fantastic. Isn't that beautiful, my dear friends, to learn? They can be drawn into an astral plane. So this is what is an Akashic record. So, and the past lives can be recorded in our consciousness. When our consciousness can contact the astral plane. So they can be recorded in our consciousness. Okay? And when will it happen? When our consciousness can contact the astral plane. And this happens very rarely. I repeat my words, my dear friends. This happens very rarely when our solar angel permits it for a special reason to help the individual in a serious problem for his future striving. Please read these words very carefully, my dear friends. They are very, very helpful for you in the progress of your soul, in your evolution, in your spiritual journey. But such a revelation generally is very segmentary, and it may contain one or two short events of a past life. It can be any past life, not the immediate ones. So it can show the glimpses, it's somewhere here and there it can show. But only when your solar angel permits you. And how will you know if your solar angel has permitted you? You will know automatically. How do you know that you can speak? Because you can hear your voice. How do you know that you can hear? Because you have ears. In the same way, you will know when and if your solar angel has permitted you, my dear friends. And so, it is also possible that our master can stretch our consciousness to penetrate into the chalice and see a special event belonging in a past life. Our master can do that. He can also recollect a few records in the mental unit or even from our subconscious mind. Our master can do that. Our solar angel, our overself, our Purnatma or Paramatma, whatever the term that you refer him to. So in very rare occasions, a master makes a person subjectively and temporarily clairvoyant to see a segment of his past life in the Akashic records. The permission is needed, my dear friends. The clairvoyance is given to us as a gift. When we are naturally being revealed one or two or three or many events of our past lives. So some methods are used by psychics, mediums, and hypnotists to make a person see his past life. But such revelations can have drastic consequences in the lives of the people, my dear friends. And I'm going to discuss a few drastic consequences. What are they and how they affect us? How they affect the people. So these methods which are used by psychics, mediums, and hypnotists, let us see what they tell us. So nature covers past lives for many reasons, my dear friends. So one reason is not to occupy people with the past, but enable them to forge towards the future without being directly influenced by past events, relationships, and failures or defeats or victories. Isn't this a new perspective? Isn't this a new way of looking at this subject? So another reason is not to open sources of information that often cannot be stopped and consequently make a person live in the past and forget about his present duties, responsibilities, and problems. Isn't that also a possibility? So even past events can explode in the mind of the people with tremendous tension that sometimes releases them and sometimes leads them to asylums. So that is the reason nature covers past lives for us, to protect us. We need to reach a certain level so that they are naturally revealed to us. And then an Akashic record conditions hundreds of lives and may suddenly reach an individual and devastate his life. with tremendous confusion burning all sanity and balance. If a person is not ready enough, if that person is shown glimpses or any Akashic record data, then he may go into imbalance. So then subconscious trash can also surface, leading a person into total imbalance. Lots of subconscious trash is there in all of our minds, my dear friends. When this surface, we are going to be filled with all the subconscious trash. And the Akashic records may also bring back the experiences of the past in such reality that the person loses his present opportunity to live a new life. Please try to listen to the words. Try to listen to the implications. What is this subject trying to tell you? What is 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗃 trying to tell you? And then most of the forced revelations of past lives, fortunately, are unreal. They are the result of the imagination or result of a projection of medium, psychic, or hypnotist. But this unreality may be accepted by a person as reality, which gradually orchestrates a life built upon unreality. In such a life, present seeds of many talents and opportunities are lost, and the person tries to obtain goals that were not planned for this life. See, my dear friends, every life has a curriculum, and we need to finish that curriculum. And in order to finish that curriculum, we need to be in the present, solve the problems in the present, and forge towards the future. We are not here to finish the past life's curriculum. This life's curriculum is there. The karmic cycle is there. We need to go according to the curriculum. But then, when we go into the past, we start living in the past and forget about the present life. And so this way, the program put in this present incarnation is disturbed and mixed with an artificial program. The result is that the person is slowly led to insanity or various physical, emotional, and mental disorders. There are many instances where this happened. And if you play two videos upon the screen of your television at the same time, you can imagine what happens. Can you imagine what happens? The same thing happens when a pseudo past life film is mixed with the events of the present life in the same brain. Just imagine what happens. What could happen? So this is something which we need to consider when we are talking about past lives. And in order to stop the evolution of some advancing disciples, the dark forces attract and release certain past events from the subconscious minds of people who make them believe they are experiencing a past life. Whenever the dark forces see a person really evolving and on the progress of the soul, on the journey of the progress of the soul, these dark forces try to play games. And they throw some events of the past life so that they can disturb our progress of the soul. They divert us, they distract us. So they can even show a video of events from the astral plane who has nothing to do with him. And if he believes that the video is his past life, he identifies with it and slowly lives under its control or enters into a desperate confusion, which is what the dark forces want to do, want to achieve. And some people make good money or gain reputation by making people artificially see their past lives, but eventually pay a heavy price for it. This is what 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗴𝗁 says about dark forces and the subconscious mind, how it affects us. We are told that a master of wisdom accidentally saw the Akashic records of a person. He immediately turned his face and averted his eyes so as not to see them. In writing about it, he further stated that even a 6th degree initiate has no right to be involved with the past lives of other people unless he has special permission for some important responsibility. We need to read these words again and again, my dear friends. But at the present, many mediums are occupied with the knowing and reading the past lives of others. Even if we accidentally come up to them, we need to just avert ourselves, avert our eyes. And when your consciousness reaches to some degree of expansion, nature will allow you, under the guidance of your solar angel, to see certain segments of your past life. In the subtle worlds, it is even forbidden to be occupied with your past life so that you forge ahead to the future. You are the future, my dear friends. You are not your past. You are the future. You are the present. You are the future. You are a gift. That's why it's called the present. You are a gift for the future. So, nature will allow you, my dear friends, as far as past lives are concerned. And if it is really necessary, and with the permission of the solar angel, you will be able to visit your past lives if it is needed and necessary for the progress of your soul and for an important responsibility. Buddha and Christ, two really great masters. You can read how Buddha and Christ handled the problems of past lives. Christ and Buddha had enough psychic energy or method to reveal the past lives of their disciples or followers, but they related to their followers in a way that affirmed the law of reincarnation without making them be stimulated or made crazy by their individual past lives. And many of their disciples must have had revelations of their past lives, but you do not find any record about them in their writings. But there are those at the present who present themselves as Jesus, Saint John, even as Buddha, Cleopatra, Napoleon, Caesar, and even Einstein or Socrates or any person, without even having anything in their mind. So this is Buddha and Christ for you, my dear friends. So there was a woman, okay, just a case study where we can understand. So there was a woman who, after going through past life exercises, suddenly proclaimed that she was Moses. And she began to try to force people to believe her. Unfortunately, she devastated her family and ended in an institution. So this is just an example which was quoted in this book. And it is a possibility that one can have some revelation about the past lives of his friends, children, or parents in a degree that solves a dark problem in his mind. Such revelations are possible, and the sign that they are given is that such a person never talks about it but keeps silence. we need to keep silent, my dear friends. And then the ageless wisdom never encourages people to practice certain methods to dig the events of past lives of people. The ageless wisdom never encourages people to practice certain methods to dig the events of past lives of people, my dear friends. That is what the ageless wisdom says. And it is known that some entities who possess people can reveal certain events of the life of the individual they possess in order to make them a more obedient slave or to lead them into activities that prevent them from reaching sanity. So this is how the dark forces try to distract us, to divert us from reaching our purpose of life, to fulfill our purpose of life. They try to make us their slaves and work for the causes of the dark forces. And some of our dreams and imaginations issue from past lives. And the natural laws often release the unconscious pressure on one's psyche by releasing pressure through dreams and imagination. Of course, along with the imagined events of past lives are mixed also the fabricated events. And such fabrications can sometimes be related to the events of past lives of the people with whom he was related, my dear friends. So there can be any number of chances, but we need to validate, we need to see the credibility of these past life events. We really need to do that. And before we open the door, normally when somebody knocks at the door, we check who that person is before letting that person in. So we need to use our discriminatory powers when we are dealing with this. And then, who can see past lives? To see consciously the past lives and use them for our further progress, we must be a 4th degree initiate, my dear friends. And people start using their power of seeing past lives after they take the 3rd initiation. And at the 3rd initiation, a person has direct access to the chalice, because his glamours and illusions are vanished, and his subconscious is totally dry. And in such a situation, he has complete power of balance for any past life revelation. This is what one needs to become in order to see past lives, my dear friends. You need to become a 3rd degree initiate, because when do you become a 3rd degree initiate? When your glamours and illusions are vanished, when your subconscious trash is all dumped and you're all done with your subconscious trash. So that is when you become a 3rd degree initiate, and that is when you can see past lives. Because you will not lose balance when you do that. And advanced spirits can benefit from their past lives if they are naturally revealed to them. And they can review them and see the causes of their achievements and defeats without getting possessed and obsessed by them. But for average people, the revelations of past lives acts as a break, a bewilderment and confusion in life, pulling them back to the measures of the past centuries. And we really don't need that. We need to live in the present, solve our problems in the present logic and reasoning and intuition, and forge towards the future. Artificial revelation of past lives. Okay, it is a violation of the nature of people. It is possible that mediums, psychics, or hypnotists who are trying to reveal the past lives of other people are obsessed by the events of past lives of others and connect themselves with these illusions, dreams, imaginations, or partial revelations. They make a very heavy karma when they make people believe what is not true. So they mislead people, giving them the confidence that what they see is true or was true. And those who involve themselves in their past lives, whether true or false, okay, can be obsessed by the events of the past lives. And they often develop jealousy, revenge, hatred, or close ties with persons they think are associated with them in their past lives. So sometimes they literally try to find such persons to take revenge on them or to continue certain friendships with them. But there is something called as karmic lessons, karma payback. So these are all the things that we really need to take into consideration, my dear friends. So a woman's life was ruined when she found out that her present husband murdered her in the past. And from that date on, the whole atmosphere of the family changed. She was continuously in fear and became cold towards her husband, who could not understand the cause of it. Eventually, they got divorced. And the children had a very hard time, and the man, who was a very good and providing husband, died in misery. Later, the wife began to hate her 3 children as well, because they were the children of a man who murdered her in the past. The information regarding the past will disturb our present for the persons who have not yet attained the third degree initiate, my dear friends. And an illusion of a past event can cause a drastic change in a relationship, especially if it is untrue and associated with past experiences of fear, anger, and crimes. And most people try to identify their past enemies with the present people around them, making them their victims. Just think about this. When the consciousness is ready, past lives slowly and naturally reveal themselves to give a chance to a person to solve problems that were neglected in the past, or see the causes of present complications in his or her life. Like they say, my dear friends, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Make yourselves ready. Expand your consciousness. Get yourself to the level of the 3rd degree and the 4th degree initiate, and they will be revealed to you naturally, because you are ready. Make yourselves ready, is what I'm trying to say over here. Expand your consciousness. Make yourself really enlightened. Get yourself to the level of the 3rd degree initiate. And then we can be shown our past lives, if that serves a higher purpose, if it has a purpose, and if it is necessary. When people have problems with themselves or with each other, they can solve them through logic and reason, tolerance and forgiveness, and the wisdom they have now in their hands. Searching past life wounds in the light of current days does not heal them. It makes people continue to feel the pain and live in the pain of the past. Many people discover their past imaginations as if they were their past incarnations. People imagine themselves in various positions and personalities. Some imagination can go and enter into their subconscious mind or memory bank. Okay? Subconscious mind is filled with all the things, imaginations, visualizations, the memories or the past lives. Everything is stored in the subconscious mind. And some imaginations can also go and enter into their subconscious minds. So later they dream of their own imagination, mixing it with other associations, and now they have a past life. We must not think that such past lives are all imagination. They can also be true or a certain percent true. And if such past lives are not real, then the person builds his present and future relationship upon an unreality, upon the imagination, which he will be forced to eliminate if he wants to proceed on the road to reality, on the way to reality. And you can see how guilty can be those who build an imaginary past life with certain people. So, 𝗕𝗏𝗵𝗆's guru, Master Maurya from the Himalayas, says that we touch upon past incarnations only in cases of necessity in order to awake the emanations of the past from Akasha. And certain people remember the details of a definite epoch. When they dreamed of being a well-known person, their remembrance of the dream also makes up the imagining of incarnation. The resulting error is in the person, but not in the epoch. These are great words given by Master Maurya, my dear friends. If you want to learn from it again and again, please watch this video again in order to get the complete picture. And only people with especially broadened consciousness can delve into the past without harm to their advancement. For a small consciousness, a glance backwards can be ruinous, my dear friends. Expand your consciousness, my dear friends. Make yourselves ready. Make yourselves get ready to that level so that you can really benefit by seeing their past lives. It must be clear that no one is against knowing one's past life. That is not the argument. You can see one's past lives. That is not the argument. But the argument is this. There are three reasons. No one must force another person by using the means to discover his past lives or has a hallucinate about them. Second point, no one must tell others about their past lives as if they knew the facts of their past lives. Third point, no one must encourage people to investigate their past lives. This is the argument, my dear friends. And what are the reasons? The reasons are as follows. First reason, there are 6 reasons, my dear friends. The first reason is that any premature opening of the veil concerning past lives will have a very negative effect on the subject, and it may even lead him to astral and mental imbalance. Premature opening, my dear friends. The person has to be ready to be revealed about his past life. What is the second reason? The second reason is that those who think they know the past lives of others may be completely wrong about their assumption and mislead others to accept their lies. This is the second reason, my dear friends. And the third reason is that the only knowers of the past lives of others are seers or masters who are not interested in past lives, except if we are voluntarily entering into the path of discipleship and initiation. And in most cases, even they do not reveal our past lives to us. But they use our past lives for making decisions about us. Revealing past lives to others is not a good idea. So it is The fourth point is that it is possible that certain people with various techniques can stimulate etheric vision or astral vision in us to see certain events. But these visions do not carry valid proof that one is seeing his or her past life. What is the proof that whatever that vision is there, whatever they see through that vision is their past life? What is the proof? What is the validation? And the probability is that he or she is picking up a station of events and identifying himself or herself with the events leading himself or herself. Then we come to the fifth point. It is also possible that to sidetrack promising people from their right path, the dark forces show them fabricated or even real past lives that will totally upset their present life or create complicated problems in their relationships, my dear friends. And then we come to the sixth reason. Teachers can encourage us to strive towards the future. Every look at a past life definitely hinders our path towards the future. Even our present life must be inspired by the future, not by the past. Our visions of future, our aspirations, and our contacts must control our present life, not our past. Not the past, my dear friends. Past is done, past is gone. Though time is relative, it is done. So when a person is ripe enough for certain reasons, nature reveals certain events from the past. These are those moments of his past that can assist him to separate himself from the past or totally sever his relationship from past illusions, glamours, and crystallizations. If the person is not ready, any relation with the past pulls him into the problems of the past, my dear friends. When he is not ready, if he's ready, he will not be pulled into the problems of the past, but he will learn from this and go ahead for the future. All these problems happen when the person is not ready. Please bear that in mind. And nature guards the privacy of the past, and the karmic lords deal severely with those who knowingly or unknowingly mislead people or push them towards past lives. Karma is all watching us, each and every one of us. Every thought, every word, every action, every emotion, every intention are counted. So you as an individual have no right to know the past lives of people before a certain major initiation. No one has the right. And your soul does not violate that law, but orchestrates dreams in which the soul helps you to have certain insights about other people. And in certain very rare occasions, your soul reveals certain events about the past life of a friend for a very specific reason. When your soul realizes that the secret will remain with you only, that means you are keeping silent about the entire thing, not revealing anything to your friend or relative or anyone. That is the science behind all of this. And the initiates of high degree live in the eternal presence, and they know all about each other. Such an elevated state of consciousness lives in the future, in spite of the ability to see all the past. And the initiate's knowledge of the past neither builds a thought form about the subject nor impressions upon him to draw his attention to the past. Please try to understand these words. And the great ones are not occupied by the past because they see reflections of the past in all their adventures towards the future. We are a product of our past, my dear friends. So we don't need to know what all we have gone through to come to this place. The only important thing that for us to know is that what do I do now so that I can forge towards the future, so that I can have a vision, have a dream, have a achievement, have a goal for the future. So know that whatever is happening in our life is because we have sown the same seeds in the past. This wisdom is enough for us to live a compassionate, forgiving, healing, understanding, joyful life now and forever. Practice non-interference. Let go of the past, live in the moment, and strive for the future. These are the last words in this presentation for you, my dear friends. And this particular subject has been presented to you or given to you by 𝗕𝗵𝗆, who is the author of over 150 plus books. And this is the website, www.thsgfoundation.org is his website, where you can find all this books list. Thank you so much, my dear friends. Thank you so much, my dear friends, for listening to this presentation about past lives, about learning this subject from a different and a new perspective. Thank you so much. Namaste.